Welcome back to Dubai Soul Oasis. I'm your host Priscilla, and I'm back again with Paul Cheung, the back guru. He will take us on a journey with the Olympic arenas and see what it is to perform at the world's highest levels. Welcome back, Paul.
Hey, great to be back.
How are you?
Very well, thanks.
Yeah. We had awesome reactions of the last episodes.
Yeah, I was really surprised. I didn't want to look, but thanks for sending me the information, and I'm glad it's generated some interest. In fact, I had one interesting comment from Tony McMahon. He used to be a footballer that looks after at Middlesbrough Football Club. He's happily retired, playing golf here in Dubai, and he said something like top man, as he always says.
Yes.
Yeah, so I was really happy with that.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's right, absolutely right. So this time we're going to talk about the Olympics. You've done the 2012 London Olympics and you've done 2 World Games.
Yes, that's right. It all started off when I was part of the British Chiropractic Sports Council and also the Federation of International Sports Chiropractors, that some of us get invited to do these top level events, given the training and experience that we had. I've always wanted to do an Olympics, and London came calling, and luckily it was during the summer break of Formula One in 2012, so I could do the racing. And then there was a break, do the Olympics, and then go back to racing. So I thought, why not? And the kids missed out on a summer holiday, but they said, "It's okay, Dad. It's your career. You enjoy it." It was hard work, I have to say.
Yeah, and it's not every day that you get to do such an event because it was so well presented.
Yeah, and the organisation was phenomenal because the training events were superb. I remember one training event in the Wembley Stadium, and it was hosted by the actor, comedian Eddie Izzard. And we were packed in this Wembley Stadium. There must have been thousands of volunteers and support workers who just went along just to hear him motivate us to create this incredible event.
Oh, wow.
And what was really nice at the end of it was that I got a letter from 10 Downing Street, probably like thousands of other volunteers did. But it was really special because it was signed by, at the time, Prime Minister David Cameron. So I've got it in framed picture. And,
you did, yeah?
It's really nice just to look back on that.
It gives that extra special touch, as you say. It's you feel part of the team, right? You feel that you are part of the organization. You guys do it, as you just mentioned, as a volunteer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, for the, visiting, athletes, obviously they're coming from all over the world, to give them the best experience, of their life. And it could be the only time, they'll be competing at this highest level. And not only for them, but also, for their coaching staff and their sport crew as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Last time we spoke about the Football Premier League. So what is the difference and how does treating an Olympian compare to a Premier League footballer?
When you consider the Olympics occur every 4 years, some athletes will basically just focus, purely on getting to the Olympics. Now, sure, they will have regional, national, maybe World Games competitions to keep being competitive at that level. So you're there to sort out any problems in their final stages of what could be their, optimized state for this final competition, as it were. Whereas in football, you're trying to keep the players optimized week in, week out, month in, month out for the whole season. And then maybe they've only got 2 months off, to rest and recover. So I think the intensity, of treating a footballer is probably a bit higher than treating an Olympian. However, if I was dedicated to treating, say, an Olympic athlete, sure, I might be with them, every week, sort of keeping them optimized whilst they're training, competing at other levels.
Yeah, because I can imagine they also need constant upkeep, right?
Absolutely. There's probably no rest periods. Some of them may have careers and families to look after and dedicate a lot of time to hard training, concentrating on their diets and their sleep patterns. Some athletes, they don't need to worry about that. They're just pure athletes and no other careers to get in the way of their training. So keeping any athlete optimized does require a lot of time and dedication as well.
Does it impact... Because, they have 8 to 12 hours a day that they're constantly training, focused on getting their performance out. How much impact can you put on their bodies with your work?
You've got to be careful not to overtreat. It's always a clinical decision not to treat for the benefits of the athlete. If they pull an injury, you can obviously examine them, assess, and determine if it's appropriate to treat them, at that time. Sometimes you might just do very little. Sometimes you might have to do quite a lot, depending on the presentation and how their body heals. So you've got to make clinical decisions based on what you find at the time.
Yeah.
And then in the Olympics, what was fairly straightforward and quite easy was that we tended to work in teams with sports doctors, general practitioners, the radiologist, radiographer, the osteopaths, the physios, and we would actually share a client, and then we would input what we think would be the best line of approach to deal with this particular athlete with this type of injury. So we could take turns, and sometimes somebody would make a decision and say, right, okay, you can sort it out.
Yeah.
Okay. Or they would say, no, just you do it, and leave it at that.
So you didn't go into one specific sport. Did you have athletes of all different disciplines then?
When you look at the arrangement of the London Olympics, there are many different types of disciplines and many athlete villages dotted around London, Surrey, Buckinghamshire, and so on. I was dedicated to the rowing and the sprint canoe, and the athletes' village was actually set up at the Royal Holloway University, beautiful building. And inside the campus, they set up a village, not only with the medical facilities where we had, they also set up these makeshift marquees and tents with a lot of the rowing and sprint canoe equipment, multiple gyms and weights. They've got laundry areas, catering areas, breakout rooms, leisure areas. They even had a place where you can do your nails and stuff. So it made the experience absolutely superb. The other impressive thing was the security. It was really high security. We had not only the police, but we also had the military who were there as well.
Seriously?
Yeah. Some of the military guys, they'd only just come back from a tour from Afghanistan, and then the next day they were here at the Olympics.
Oh my gosh.
And some of the guys I was talking to, they said, we just got back from a tour of duty. And they said this is such a refreshing change from being pelted at by bullets. So we did meet some really interesting characters. Yeah.
But it's such a huge event, and the whole country, of course, is centralized around London at that stage. So I can imagine the safety and risk management they have to calculate in, right?
Oh, absolutely. The reason why the security staff were there was just to obviously offer the protection, for the competitors. But somebody said that the medical centres were targets for drug users. So
Okay,
and we did actually have a couple of guys who got over the fence, and they were caught trying to break into the medical facility one night to help themselves to whatever they could find. Massage oil, tiger balm, dangerous
that's
stuff.
what you need it for.
Yeah, that's right.
So what was a day like inside the Olympics village, and being there as a chiropractor? So how was the vibe? What do you feel? What is it like? Talk me through a day.
Yeah, it was wonderful. Once you've cleared through your security and they checked your bags, you're in this amazing place. You feel the very happy, positive energy. A lot of the teams who've occupied some of the dorms, they're hanging their national flags out the windows. So you can see the Australian team there, you can see the British team there, and so on. And then you have your meeting in the morning to your Olympic colleagues about how we're going to structure our day and the patients we're going to see. And depending on who walks in, we'll either treat them, or you get time off to go and grab a coffee or go and chat to the athletes in the breakout room and see if they've got any problems with their injuries. Go to the gym and watch their training and just talk to them about their whole journey getting to the Olympics.
Was there a specific athlete that gave such a story that really stuck with you?
They all seem to be very hardcore when it comes to training, and
you have to be knowing that level.
There was one guy. He was lifting the heaviest dumbbells off the rack.
Okay.
I mean, his deltoids were the size of my head, and I said, "Oh, do you want a hand with that?" And he just laughed and nearly dropped the weights on his foot. It was just wonderful to see the happiness, the dedication that they're here at the Olympics, and we're there to support them. And every so often, you did get somebody coming in a panic saying, "I don't know what's happened here. Something's damaged. I can't move my arm, or something jammed up." And then you had to work quickly to calm them down and to get them back to normal again, so that they don't feel they're not going to compete.
Yeah.
So there were plenty of stories like that, though nothing really stands out apart from the fact that once they'd been out to the Eton Dorney reservoir where they were competing, they would come back with a medal. And they'll say, "Hey, guess what? I've got. Look at this!" And you think, "Wow, fantastic!" And when you treat the athletes, and then they come back with a medal, you sort of feel really, really happy that. And they said it was all down to you, and get, "Well, no, it wasn't down to me. I was there to help." But it was so nice to see these medals and feel them. They're really heavy.
Yeah.
So I'm really, really pleased to share that with them.
How many medals did you get?
Now
I'm curious.
I just got a letter from 10 Downing Street. That was, worth it for me.
So the stress levels were manageable, because I can only imagine if you're at that size competition that the stress levels are through the roof. Or is it that people get into a certain zone, like, I've done all the prep work, I've put all these 4 years into it now, this is the moment, now I have to let go, now it's just the focus of keeping my focus in place?
Yeah, absolutely. It's all about just knowing what you know, doing your best, and you just basically stay on your toes all the time. And when you talk to the colleagues in the medical centre, they're pretty much in the same mindset. And it's incredible how, despite the fact that we're all different disciplines, we do work together very well to make the athlete number one. And so I didn't think there was a problem. And in fact, looking back at the 2 weeks I did at the Olympics, I think working one Formula One race for me was actually harder work than working at the Olympics. Because afterwards, when I went back to the first race and went back into it, and wow, I suddenly thought the Olympics was actually much easier.
Yeah. But still, how do you handle the pressure of treating the athletes to get them to their best performance, to bring back that medal? I mean, there is a lot of pressure on you as well.
Yeah. I don't personally look at it as pressure. I think when I get somebody coming in, it's just the consistency. And I must get it from working in my parents' restaurant, where they were so consistent with the quality and the product of the food that it didn't matter whether they were serving VIP or Joe Bloggs from down the road. The food was consistent. So what I'm producing is consistency.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to get extra special treatment. There isn't such a thing. You just do what you do.
Yeah.
And I think with that comes the confidence that you give to the athlete, the driver, and there's nothing to worry about.
Yeah.
So keep it simple.
Keep it simple. Just perform.
No stress.
No stress. A little bit, but no stress.
Yeah, that's right.
And then seeing the medals come in.
That's right.
That's pretty awesome.
The podium and the champagne and all the trophies. Yeah.
That's exciting.
Yes.
Seems like a bit of a pattern that whoever you treat keep coming back with winning successes.
It's nice, to see that, because it affirms that what I'm doing is okay for them.
Just okay, though.
Yeah,
right?
That's right. Then after that, they're hungry for more. So then there's more of a demand, I suppose, to keep that consistency sustainable.
Yeah.
So you got to look after yourself and be happy, eat well, sleep well, keep exercised, etc., etc. So
how do you do that on an event like that?
It's good to either get up early in the morning to get the exercise patterns out of the way, and then during the, for example, race weekend, there are times in the morning, in the evening, to actually go to the gym and get some exercising.
Okay.
So and making sure that you get 7 hours sleep as well a night. It can help. Sometimes, if you're really lucky, you might even be able to get a nap during the day, if you're really lucky. Like, for example, when the Formula One starts, and I don't have to do any duties like pitboarding or rain spotting, and I'm thinking, gosh, what am I going to do? Okay, I'll have a lie down.
Yeah.
Then 20 minutes later, I'll get up and then go to the garage and see if anybody needs anything. So that's how it worked.
A bit different than the Olympics, because there you've got your set times of each individual classes, I guess.
When you have the timetable, then you could see the areas in the diary as to when you can have some time to chill out.
Yeah. Was it properly structured?
Very well structured. Yeah. Okay. I think from the athletes arriving in London and getting to the venues, you had to turn up at a certain time and do your 12-hour shift. And so I'd finish at midnight, go back to the hotel, get a good night's sleep, and come back the next day and do my 12-hour shift again. So it was really well structured.
Were you able to watch some of the Olympics as well?
Yes, it was wonderful just to go in the minibus with some of the teams and go to the Eton Dorney Reservoir and just be there for the atmosphere. See the grandstands out, we were absolutely packed. BBC TV and all the other media were there, and the cheering, the excitement. Yeah, there's nothing like it.
Yeah,
any kind of sport. Yeah, I've done many different types of sport, and there's always that human energy that makes it so special.
Such a thrill.
Yeah.
And I guess that will make you hungry to continue with these kind of events, because it brings an excitement, I can imagine.
It does, up to a point. And I think also that you've got to be careful you don't overdo it, because there were times when you think, okay, how long am I going to carry on this for?
Yeah.
Not to say I got bored, though. No. You do start to miss other things like family occasions and birthday parties and anniversary celebrations and so on. So you do sacrifice quite a lot of your personal time for the sake of these top level events.
Yeah, you always need to go back and find your balance again.
Yes, and that's really important. Find some peace.
Peace and quiet. Then you also have done the World Games.
Yes. Yeah.
Is there any difference between the World Games and the Olympics for event-wise, structure-wise, injury-wise?
Yeah, they're very similar in that both the World Games and Olympics are governed by the International Olympic Committee. A lot of the World Games sports, some of them may end up in the Olympics, or they were in the Olympics on one stage and then they ended up back into the World Games level. So you are still dealing with a lot of top-level athletes. Back in 2005 in Germany, I was working again in water sports. There are many different types of water sports. It wasn't just rowing and sprint canoe. There were other things like barefoot water skiing and wakeboarding and dragon boat racing and canoe polo. Yeah.
Canoe polo.
And
that's a bit different.
So and they have a field of 6 or 7 paddlers and a pitch with a basket suspended 6 foot up in the air. And basically they're passing a ball around and throwing it into the net. So it's a bit like netball, but in canoes. However, it's quite brutal when you watch the men and the women. They use their canoes as weapons. And they're smashing each other up. And so you not only get the typical kind of like overused shoulder injuries and stuff like that, you get people with bruised ribs, broken ribs, smashed up faces and chins and you name it. Yeah, sprained backs and things like that because they're capsizing and they're rolling around and they're smashing into each other. Yeah,
a bit tougher than the football scene.
Yeah, I think so.
But they do lie down quicker. Rolling over the grass.
Yeah. So I was looking after the New Zealand canoe polo team. The following year, they went to Holland, in fact, to do a world level competition, and because I met them at the World Games in 2005, in 2006 I went over to the Netherlands and looked after them, and they did really well. They got into the final, and unfortunately they got beaten by the Germans in this sudden death part where whoever can get the first goal point wins. So improved their world rankings from somewhere like 17th up to the second. Which they're really happy.
That's very good, though.
Got silver, yeah.
Yeah.
In the 2015 or 17 World Games, I was at the in Wrocław in Poland, and looking after gymnasts. Yeah, and again, very different to everything else. But here you have people who are hyper flexible, come in at 7 o'clock in the morning, and they're stretching for 2 hours, and that's barely their warm up. And then they spend the rest of the morning going through their rehearsals, ready for the competition sometime in the afternoon, evening. Yeah, and some of that at that level, you've got some of the top level teams, the Americans, the Canadians, the Russians. They've got their own entourage, they've got their own medical team, and yet they were asking us for help.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They said, we want your second opinion. Could you have a look at this? Can you check this out?
So they're always broadening their vision to see, is there any specialist that can have an extra view on the issue that they're dealing with, so that they constantly keep learning from updated medicine, let's say, or updated treatments.
Yeah, that's right. Because they were curious as to how come we were there, and we're here because the IOC gave us permission to be here to look after you guys and girls, and they were like, oh, great. Yeah. So wonderful that the athlete would then come back time and time again and say, yeah, this really worked, whereas before, what they had before, they didn't work very well. So it kind of gave us a badge of honor, really. Yeah,
absolutely. But it's incredible that the sport, although it's being so intense, and I can imagine you have maybe your own secrets in how you train, what you train to become that specialist and the best in what you are doing, that they're still then open to the fact of getting external input. And that's I think that's quite nice to hear that, actually. Yeah. I wouldn't expect that.
No, I didn't expect it at all. I remember this little Korean athlete, gymnast, coming up to me, and she bowed, and then I said, "Yo, how can I help you?" And she goes, "Pain," and that's it. There's no English. It's just pain. I thought, oh, okay, and so I just went ahead, and started examining her. And I thought, okay, found a little issue here. Okay, so got her to breathe in, breathe out, release, and then off she went. Came back again, pain, and that was it. And so I didn't have much to go on. And then 3 days later, her coach turns up and says, "Thank you so much for, helping her. She's done really well. She got, first, second place or whatever." And I thought, fantastic,
amazing. How many people do you treat daily, and how many over the full event?
What in the sport?
Yeah, like in each of the games. I mean,
it can vary.
Yeah.
I know that we worked at getting all the statistics, and at the end of a 2-week stint or a 1-week stint, you could have done hundreds of treatments collectively, not just me. So perhaps I might have seen 20, 30 people in a day. I did that in Formula One, average about 20-25 people.
Wow.
A day. So yeah, that's enough.
Yeah, very intense. Yeah, that's why you need to be in the gym yourself too, to keep
yeah,
up.
That's right.
And it's infectious, I'm sure, when you see everybody being super fit and healthy and working on improving themselves. I'm sure you feel like, okay, better join that party, let's say.
Yeah, you do. When I travelled in F1, I shared a room with one of the drivers' trainers, and so every morning you'd be getting up, with them to go to the gym or go for a run or something, and so I did consider myself, fairly fit at the time because of that. Though there was one time when I decided to have a lie-in, and the trainer comes in, wakes me up, but he didn't wake me up to go training. He said, Paul, I've done something." I said, "What?" And he goes, "I was doing some boxing sparring and I punched the driver in the face." I'm thinking, oh no. Right. So I got up really fast just to examine the driver to make sure it was okay on race day. And I looked at him and said, "What the hell did you do that for?" Because he didn't duck out the way when he should have done, So it's a good test of his reflexes.
Yeah.
If he wasn't awake, he was awake now.
He's awake now, right? Did he perform well that day?
He did, yeah. He was fine, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so
I remember that being the Canadian Grand Prix, so yeah, did all right.
Did all right. Coming back to the Olympics, what was your main takeaway from the whole event?
it was an amazing event to almost like to serve the country and make it a success, a true success. I think there was a lot of positive feedback, from the athletes, the organisers, and it was just a major happy event. After that, I wanted to do another one. 2016, there was the Rio Olympics. However, I didn't go. There was a lot of stories about the Zika virus going around.
Yes.
And I have to say the organisation wasn't quite up to scratch compared to London.
Okay.
And then there was the Tokyo 2020 that I really wanted to go and say that was going to be my last one, swan song. Again, that didn't happen because of the coronavirus and the difficulties surrounding that. They did have the Olympics the year after, but it just wasn't quite the same.
Yeah.
So I didn't feel like I missed out on anything.
No.
So London holds a very special thing for me. Happy memories, and I'm glad I did it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's really a nice one to have on your list.
Yes,
Yeah.
totally.
Yeah. Any anecdotes that you would still like to share? What do you think people would love to know? What happens behind doors?
In
Olympics.
One thing
Not
that
games,
we did
Olympics, either one.
every day, all right, and at different locations, was to carry a box full of condoms and basically fill up the bowls of condoms in the breakout room,
No way.
in the canteen, in the medical treatment room, by the security guard's post. Yeah, condoms. That's all I remember.
That's all I remember. You never seen so many at one
Oh
location.
no! One guy's coming along and he's stuffing his bag full of condoms. I think, okay.
This is interesting. Do they even have the energy and the time for it when they're preparing for such a big event?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, hilarious. Yeah, who would have thought, eh?
Yeah, it was an eye-opener for sure. It's like, bloody hell.
Yeah, I think it's amazing for the people to have seen a little bit of an insight to the Olympics and the World Games, and to understand that it's such a core system that you guys have brought to the teams, and that you've treated so many people and brought so many successes home again, which is absolutely incredible, and especially at the most crucial time of these athletes' lives. Maybe it's their last chance to perform at such level.
Yeah, absolutely. I think to be part of that sport is an honour. It also guides me to affirm that I'm doing the right thing, and not only at that level, but also for my wonderful normal patients in the clinic.
Yeah.
It really is something that warms my heart. To know that I can help as many people as I can, no matter what walk of life they come from.
Yeah. Absolutely. Amazing. Thank you so much for this episode.
Thank you. That's great.
And I am really, really excited again for our next one. So we're going to go through all the thrills of Formula One. You've dropped here and there already a few tasters. But we're very curious about that.
Sure. Okay.
So up to the next episode. Looking forward to it.
Great. Thanks.
Thanks so much.